Hey guys, welcome back to Jurassic Collectibles. So this weekend I picked up Walking with Dinosaurs, the 3D movie in Blu-ray 3D format. And I was really excited to pick this one up. I had what are called Nectar points. We have a shop called Sainsbury's here in the UK, and if you spend a certain amount you get points on a card, and then those points can be redeemed and taken off purchases later on. So actually I used my Nectar points to buy this, so it was kind of like a freebie, which is always great. And you can see here, this version has the Blu-ray 3D, the normal Blu-ray film. That's on the same disc, it's not two separate discs, and it comes with the Ultraviolet HD downloadable version as well. Let's get a closer look at that cover artwork quickly. You can see the Gorgosaurus at the top there with some pterosaurs. Walking with Dinosaurs, the 3D movie logo, and we've got the three Pachyrhinosaurs at the front there, and it says fun and action packed, and it is a U, so it's good for children if you're interested. On the back we've got a little bit of information about the film. We've got Patchy and Scowler there as adults butting heads, and there's a little rundown of the special features. There is a Cretaceous cut, which is a longer version of the film. I haven't got around to watching that one. I've only watched the original version so far. It also has a really cool encyclopedia called the Ultimate Dino Guide, which is really worth checking out. At the bottom here we've got some more imagery from the film, and here it just gives you a little bit of information about the digital ultraviolet version. If I just remove this from the sleeve, you can see we've got the repeated artwork inside, and on the back we got the same information, just in a slightly different arrangement. Inside I have removed the ultraviolet code, but you can see here is the disc art. We've got a nice picture of Patchy there with the sun coming through, Walking with Dinosaurs the movie, and here you've got some advertising for the Walking with Dinosaurs BBC series, and BBC Earth actually helped produce this film. Funnily enough, it's out on DVD, which I suppose makes it less expensive, but it's funny that they didn't bring this out on Blu-ray as well. I'm not sure if you can get this on Blu-ray, but that's just interesting. A little bit of advertising for the TV series, and that's something we'll talk about in just a minute, the original TV series versus this film. Okay, so the main thing I want to talk about is the film itself, the actual content of the movie. And I'm going to try and do it in a way that doesn't spoil it for those who haven't seen this yet, because I'm sure there's a lot of you who haven't seen the film. Now, first of all, I'm going to talk about the look of the film, because as a Jurassic Park fan, I really loved the way that the dinosaurs looked in Jurassic Park, and it would be unfair to judge this movie based purely on the content of the story. I know that's what's most important, but I first of all want to judge it on how it looks and the visual effects. So the dinosaurs are absolutely incredible. The 3D, if you're watching it in 3D, is very impressive, and that's one of the first things I have to say about this film. The way it looks is really, really incredible. You can look at the dinosaurs and see their individual scales as they're, if they do close-up shots, you can see all this detail. It's rich and colourful, the world is bright and well lit, it's just really, really nice. So as far as the film goes in the look, it's absolutely incredible. The story, I would say, is it has a lot of heart. It's mainly intended for younger ones. I would say this is a children's movie. You can tell because it's a U, and it actually reminds me quite a lot of The Land Before Time in terms of the sort of age bracket you should be looking at. I would say it's probably sort of, under 10 would be a good age for this sort of film. But it doesn't mean that a family can't sit down and enjoy this film. So if you do enjoy dinosaurs and you've got a son or daughter, this might be a good one to watch with them. So that gives you an idea of the sort of content of the film. The way it's done is quite unique. The dinosaurs communicate with each other talking. They talk to each other, and the way it's done is the actors dub over the dinosaurs. They don't lip sync, so they don't talk like this with their mouths. They just make dinosaur sounds, and then what they're saying, as in what they're actually talking about, is just dubbed over as if it's normal dialogue. So that's quite an interesting approach, and I remember for The Land Before Time, they did actually lip sync. They actually moved their mouths and talked. But in this, they tried to stay true to the look of the dinosaurs being realistic, because they wouldn't really talk, but you're kind of hearing their thought processes as they communicate with each other. So that's an interesting way to go. The story focuses on Patchy here, and this is his brother Scowler. Now, their dad is the leader of the herd, and this film sort of follows them as they grow up and shows sort of their journey to becoming leaders of the herd. Patchy has a love interest. He kind of has a bit of a soft spot for this girl here, and that's Juniper. And they're all pachyrhinosaurs, so they all belong to the same herd. For a while, these two get sidetracked and break away from the herd, and you wonder if they're ever going to be reunited with the herd, but then it all resolves itself and works out really nicely. This is the Gorgosaurus, the big super predator, and plays quite a big part in the film. And then you've got these pterosaurs up here. Now, there's loads more different species of dinosaurs in the film, and what's nice is when they make an appearance, it comes up with their name and just a little bit of information about what their name means. It just does a freeze frame whenever they sort of come on screen and says, pterosaur, this means this, which is quite nice for young ones learning about these new dinosaurs. Now, I have to say also, one of the special features here is called the Ultimate Dino Guide, and this is particularly good for young ones learning about the dinosaurs featured in the film, because it's kind of like an encyclopedia. It has a little video, and then it also has a little breakdown of the dinosaur and its anatomy and all the different parts of its body, and gives you an information about where it lived and what it ate, etc., etc. So I think that's really good. The Ultimate Dino Guide is one of my favourite special features on here. Probably one of the most surprising things about this film is that it opened and closed with Carl Urban, who stars in Judge Dredd, Lord of the Rings, and also recently stars in the Star Trek reboots. He's in the film, he plays a paleontologist. He only makes a brief appearance, but it's interesting that humans actually are in this film for the beginning and end, and they kind of just round off the story at either end. So that's something interesting to note. If you remember the Walking with Dinosaurs TV series made by BBC in 1999, and also the spin-off shows like The Ballad of Big Al, you'll remember that they were shot like a natural history documentary, very similar to the ones made by David Attenborough, for example. This film is not consistent with that documentary style, so if you're looking for more of the same as Walking with Dinosaurs, the TV series, you're going to be very disappointed. This is more of a fictional story in line with The Land Before Time. It's obvious that they've tried as much as possible to stay true to the look maybe of the dinosaurs, but I would say their behaviours are very narrative driven, and some of the dialogue in it you wouldn't believe if you're really into a fact-based dinosaur world. For example, Patchy, at one point, it's nighttime and it's cold, and Patchy says, "I wish we'd brought layers." You know, that's not something, you know, first of all, we're hearing them talk to each other, which, you know, breaks that sort of, you know, that level of reality straight away. And then second of all, they're saying stuff like that humanizes them. So I think you're going to be very disappointed if you're looking for more of the same in terms of a documentary style. Having said that, if you've got young ones that just like dinosaurs and want to learn more about them, the special features on these discs, allows you to, you know, learn more about the dinosaur world. So there is some factual information to back it up. But I just thought it's interesting to show how the Walking with Dinosaurs franchise has kind of taken this direction where they're just experimenting with different types of media. They're not really trying to stay consistent with that sort of documentary natural history style. And I think some people were expecting that, and I think some people were disappointed. For one, I enjoyed this movie, but if you really enjoy the documentary style, you might be disappointed. Okay guys, I just wanted to show you one more thing. I noticed as I was picking up this piece that actually it's got a very nice glossy embossed logo, and I thought some of you might like to see that just before I wrap up this review. Very nice indeed. It's always nice to feel the glossy bits on an otherwise satin sort of surface. Really cool. So there we go. That is my review of the Walking with Dinosaurs, the 3D movie. Let me know, guys, have you seen this film? What did you think of it? Will you be picking up the DVD or Blu-ray? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you check out all the Walking with Dinosaurs toy reviews that we did. I'll put a link to those down below. We reviewed the Gorgosaurus, the ultimate Gorgosaurus, which had electronic sounds, and we also reviewed these three as minifigures. And I think we even got a pterosaur, although it was a Quetzalcoatlus minifigure that we got that was really badly painted. But anyway, the reviews for those are down below, so you can go and check those out. In the meantime, guys, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.